Here we go again. Alrighty, hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back again. Tonight we have a fantastic matchup, but we've already seen this one a few times before. It will be LVC Overwatch taking on Messiah University. This is the fourth time this semester that these two teams have played each other, and there could be a fifth meeting as well all the way near the end of April, but that is for a different time and a different place, as that will be a LAN event hosted by the Belong Arena in the King of Prussia Mall on April 22nd. But like I said, that's for a different time and a different place. This here tonight is the NACE Varsity Plus East 1 Conference Semifinals. LVC Overwatch looking to get their spot in the grand final. They were 6-1 in the regular season, and their only loss coming to the #1 seed in the group, who was Drexel. That was, I believe, the first match they played in this division, and they have not lost since with that 6-1 record. Drexel, by the way, playing RIT Academy in the other side of the bracket for semifinals. That is going to be taking place in a few days. That'll be next week. It currently is scheduled for April 11th at 7 p.m. So next Tuesday is when that is slotted to be played, and we'll see who will play against the winner of that one in the finals when we are at the end of this series. So far this year, the first two times I believe that LVC played Messiah this semester, that they ended up dropping both of those series, one being in Appalachian Conference and the other being somewhere else. I don't even remember, but this is this is a crazy set of events, to be quite honest. I'm just out of words at this point for this series. Like, I've seen it so many times. It's just like throwing me off seeing it again, to a point like where it could be there could be a fifth meeting of these two teams. That is, like, with how many teams are in collegiate, that is just immensely rare. I can't even put like the percentage chance of that happening into anything. Like, it's absurd. These two teams have been put into every division together. They've been put into every playoff match together, every side of the bracket together, all of that sort of thing. But we'll see how things go. Last time, LVC, if I remember correctly, they won in Game 5 against this Messiah team. It is always a great matchup between these two. We are currently just waiting for the players to finish up their ranked games, and then they'll be into the lobby here, and we'll get ready to start things off. I'm not sure if that's the first map or not, but currently, at least in the game, we have Lijiang Tower selected as the control. That has been the map #1 a few different times in this series, so I very well would expect, I could expect it to be this map once again, but we will have to see. This is pretty much the only game where you'll see the teams do the map choices while they're still in the lobby together. So I don't have like the series off the top of my head, but I can give you the mode order if you guys are not familiar with it. First off, as I had mentioned, we will be starting on control. Then we will have hybrid as the second mode, then payload for map 3, push for map 4, and control again for map 5 if we go there. But we will have to see. It very well could be possible, or this could end in a 3-0. This could end in a 3-1. You never know who's going to take it. Speaking of Messiah, over in the same division here, the East 1 division in NACE, they finished out the season at 3-4. They did take the 6th seed, so they were the last team to make it into the playoffs of this division, and they managed to beat Quinnipiac 3-0 in the first round. So a bit of an upset there, but we all know how good this Messiah team is, so I don't think it's a massive surprise seeing them here in the semifinals. There are only 6 teams that qualify from each division or each conference, and the way it works with Varsity Plus is you only play your conference playoffs. You don't play outside of that. So if you win the conference, that's it. That's where it stops. If you lose in the conference playoffs, it still stops there. There's no LCQs or any of that sort of thing. But when you look at Varsity Premier, which is what our Rocket League and Smash teams played in, you will see the last chance qualifiers if you don't win your conference. And then after that, there will be an overall playoff where seeds are created by the seeding committee. But that's another thing for another time. already playoffs are about to actually begin for the Varsity Premier Divisions. Overall playoffs, I should say, not the conference playoffs. Those are already done. But unfortunately, LVC Rocket League and LVC Smash will not be participating in those. Getting back into it, though, we have everyone in the lobby, so we should be ready to go here in just a couple seconds or maybe minutes, depending on how things go here. But very familiar matchup as we'll see these two teams fight once again, this time for a final spot. Probably taking a shot against Drexel, if I would have to guess. They did go undefeated in the regular season, but anything can happen in playoffs. Anything can happen in any of these divisions as well. As even looking at the other side of the bracket too, while Messiah did have an upset over Quinnipiac, RIT Academy also upset Kettering, who finished above them in the standings grid. It was a fourth and fifth place teams playing each other, so it's not as big of an upset as you would say with Messiah taking down the 3rd seed as the 6th seed, but still something worth noting. So definitely the potential for upsets all across the board, and we'll see what happens here. Believe the players are just about ready to start. Also, I want to mention this because I think it's really interesting. The Boss Baby, currently not even in state. He's playing over at the Southern Illinois University Esports Arena. So huge shout out to them for allowing him to even be there. That is, I'm just glad he managed to get to a PC somewhere. And just hearing him say, oh yeah, I'm not even in Pennsylvania, was like, it just threw all of us off. But very thankful for the boys over there at SIUE. They have a solid program over there. I know a lot of their teams are decently competing in a lot of their divisions. But finally, we are ready to enter the game as we load into Lijiang Tower. LVC looking to beat Messiah once again, as we saw them take the last series against this team. Can they do it again? We will have to find out starting in just 15 more seconds. We'll likely see a very good matchup here as the teams look to pick their heroes. We'll likely see very similar comps for both of these teams. There's a very strong meta at this point in time, so we are going to likely have very similar setups. Although I do know that this Symmetra play is very favored by this Messiah team. We'll see Phantom picking that one up. Stu going to be on the Lucio. We'll also see JBS taking up the Reaper. We've seen Fruggle Frog play a lot of Reapers, so we may see him pull that out depending on what happens in these first couple of fights. But for now, Fruggle Frog going to stay on the Cassidy. LVC looking to go all the way towards the outer edge of the map, and we will see the first blood already taken by Rumbly Coffee. Gets that headshot on the Fruggle Frog as Lotad moves on into the control point. Cooper going to have to do a lot of work here now as the May. The only DPS left up for the LVC roster for now. And look at that wall off on to Dizzy. The tank almost proves fatal, but still Rumbly Coffee doing a lot of damage here, keeping Messiah into it. Lotad takes up Dizzy, but he's not going to have a lot of help around him. So he'll have to back on down. Grok going to have to support him as well on the Ana. First set of time going to go over to Messiah as LVC look to re-enter the point. We'll see again, Fruggle Frog has put really weak, just barely managing to dash back onto the map, but it's not going to matter. All of the players of LVC again falling. Cooper finds a kill on the Phantom, but that's not really going to mean much. It's all the way on the outer part of the map near the Messiah spawn. LVC getting wiped in 2 straight fights. Now going to have to get back to this point again. And you'll see there, Fruggle Frog hopping onto the Reaper. And Booper going to pick up the Pharah. We're going to see Boss Baby hop onto Mercy as well. So this combo can be deadly if played correctly. We'll have to check back in with them a bit later. The Kitsune comes in from Messiah, and that's going to lead to JB taking down Fruggle Frog. been struggling to start off this series, but Lotad finds a couple with the ultimate as Booper gonna get some help on with the kill onto Dizzy. So LVC finally getting into the point, getting some kills in their name as well. It'll all be down to JBS Tech, but he'll fall pretty quickly as he'll be the last one left on site, and LVC finally getting a capture there. 79% on this first point for Messiah to start things off. Looking great for them. But they'll have to recapture and hold if they want to take this first round. That's a good start for Booper. Finds one. He's actually going to be having the ult there. And it's not even going to matter. Lotad tossing the knife across the map and takes out Rumbly. Booper still doing a lot of damage here too. The Pharmacy going huge, giving LVC some space and doing a lot of entry damage before much can be done. We may see Booper pop that ultimate here in just a second, and there it goes. He only gets JBS Tech though. Phantom will be quick to trade. So now LVC have to back on up, and everyone is falling. Phantom with the ultimate on the Sojourn takes down every one of LVC. And that point will be recaptured for Messiah. They're in a great spot to close out round number 1. Just one more fight for LVC here. But Booper on the outer edge of the map at least takes out Phantom. So now LVC can start making their move onto the point. And that's a second kill, a huge one onto Rumbly Coffee. That's a support down too. Now LVC will get into the point. Boss Baby pops the ultimate. And LVC should be able to capture here. And they will do just that, but they're going to have to hold out the entire way through. Messiah hits that 99% mark. If they recap, they'll likely just take it right away. So LVC going to have to win a couple fights here, and if they manage to, that should be round number 1 to their hand. But can the comeback go their way? As Messiah looks to get towards the outer edge. Again, Booper getting an early pick. The Pharmacy still doing so much damage as Lotad manages to pick out JB before he can escape. And the ultimate also in the hands of Booper. This should be the round to LVC. You'll likely see Dizzy just trying to hop onto the point, contest for as long as possible, but how much is really going to get done? Booper pops that ult. JBS trying to respond. Oh, takes down Booper at least, but Lotad still has his ultimate as well, as he's doing a ton of damage himself. Booper gets rezzed, and now it'll be down to just 2 players. The Kitsune gets called out in a desperation attempt. And actually, Dizzy still contesting. Messiah still with a chance here, making it scrappy, but so far, LVC still doing a great job of keeping these players off the point for too long. And finally, round number 1 going to go the way of LVC.
Score 1-0.
Huge round for LVC there. They managed to make a comeback there too. You can see the players certainly excited about that one. But there's still a lot more work to be done. As we head into the second control point, we'll see Froggle Frog hop on the Bastion, especially when it comes to the hybrid and push modes. You'll see him favor this hero a lot, but gonna take it on control as well, just to hold down a fairly large area. He's playing Bastion. He can sit in a corner and just hang out. And we'll see Booper hop off the Pharah, pick up that Junkrat. Looking for different sort of setup. Lotad on the run. Going to block as much damage as he can, and now we're getting into the fight here. Dizzy gets hit with that anti, a big one from Grok. But how much can LVC make off of it for now? No one will fall just yet, but players are starting to get isolated, and there's Froggle Frog moving forward in the tank mode. Finds 2, Lotad finds another. All of the players from Messiah gonna fall. And that's a team kill to start things out for LVC in the second round. Looking to make a statement here in game number 1. Despite that slow start, They've managed to bring it all back in their favor since that moment, since those first couple of fights. Now we're going to see Messiah at least manage to get their way close to the point. Also trying to wall off the players that are early, or pushed up towards their spawn. But how much is he going to do is Lotad gets hit by the nano. So how much damage can he do? And that shatter, I believe it gets blocked by Lotad. And he's just rushing forward. He has all the health, all the damage in the world. And LVC gonna capitalize once again. He still has a shatter in his hands as well. Booper gonna take out JBS Tech as well. Staggering as much as possible. What a sleep dart from Grok onto Rumbly Coffee. Not gonna lead to Rumbly falling there, but certainly gonna stall the push for just a couple more seconds. The wall comes in from Symmetra. And Lotad's not in a good spot. He's just trying to play his life as long as he can. He'll finally fall to Phantom. Has a bit of help too. Phantom, though, gets put really weak. Booper trying to keep these Symmetra turns off the point. Junkrat's a great hero to have for that, but how much longer can they hold off? It's looking like a fair bit of time. Lotad managed to get back. He's going to be playing on the ball as well. So he's just looking to stagger a bit and play his life for as long as possible. Somehow LVC are still controlling this point despite losing their tank so early on. The rest of the roster manages to hold on for long enough, and LVC are going to win this fight by some way of it. And they're going to hit 99%. Point getting captured by Stu, but he's the only one here. Just not getting the support he needs just yet. Frog finds two. Grok finding another with the anti, and that will be game number 1. Huge map from LVC. Starting off a tiny bit slow, but picking it up, and actually the play of the game gonna go to Phantom over on the Sojourn. As we saw, Phantom has had a huge ultimate here, a 4K, but it'll be LVC that ultimately ends the point with the win, and now they are up 1-0 in this series. A fantastic start to it. LVC going up 1-0, now moving into the hybrid. I'm not sure who's picking the map for this one, but I'm going to take a wild guess and say it'll be Kings Row, because every time these two teams, they love the maps that they love playing, and they literally play the same thing every single series. So I'm going to take a wild guess and say Kings Row, and then if we go map 4, it'll probably be Circuit Royale. Map 3 on Payload, I'm actually not sure what they'll go for that one. And yep, it's Kings Row. Just like everyone expected, it's Kings Row. The best hybrid map, though. Easily the best hybrid map. LVC going to look to get back into this pretty quickly, as we'll see what happens as LVC want to go up 2-0 in this series. Just a fantastic map 1. I mean, that Pharmacy in the first point just annihilated Messiah. They had no counter that whatsoever. The quick switch to Pharmacy, along with Frog hopping onto that Reaper, made things that much easier and just stunned, maybe not stunned, but startled the roster of Messiah. They had no answers whatsoever for it. So now LVC in a great spot in a map, or in this series, looking to get their way into the finals with minimal trouble. We shall see, though, as we are getting ready to load into map number 2. We'll be on Kings Row. We'll see the side of Messiah on attack first. Looking to bounce back after map number 1. See Disney here on the Ramatra. Along with standard play that they, or at least standard for Messiah. I know they love playing the Mei. Mei is also meta at the moment. Mei is a big pick for them. Usually when I see them play, when I see Messiah play, they're almost always going to have a Mei in their on their roster, on their team. But sometimes they change it up. But here will not be different. We'll see what Phantom decides to go for. On the Hanzo. Looking to open things up early. The wall just a bit off timing-wise for Booper. Booper actually getting put down to 50 HP pretty quickly, but some progress being made here by Messiah. Starting to make their way onto the point. They don't quite get there yet. And that wall again coming in big for Booper. Cuts off the May of JB Tech, and that's going to be Froggle picking up the kill. Lotad gets the strike onto Dizzy, and one by one the players of Messiah will fall. First fight going over to LVC. A couple of the players managed to escape with their lives, so they're not going to get fully staggered there. Not ideal, but not the end of the world. You also can see at the top of your, or at the middle of your screen there, there's still 3 minutes on the timer, so still got a fair bit until things get desperate. Lotad gonna have the Earth Shatter in hand. When will he decide to put this down? The wall comes in. Dizzy getting cut off again. That leads to a whole ton. The Dragon Strike, though, comes in, and look at that from Lotad. Gets 2 down. Rumbly, though, at least has the Immortality Field, so Lotad will fall. Now Grok just trying to contest for a little bit longer. Eventually will end up getting taken down by Dizzy. JB gonna stagger Booper. So that point will go over to Messiah. They'll add a minute and I believe a half onto the clock, so have a fair bit of time left. They'll look to push this cart across now, as Dizzy managed to get an early pick onto the Boss Baby. So LVC will have to back one down. They don't have that Lucio speed to get them out of a sticky situation quickly. They're just gonna have to wait for this push to come in. 4 minutes on the clock for Messiah. And slowly but surely making their way forward with the cart. Booper, though, can toss this ultimate in there, freeze up the area. And that's exactly what's going to happen. The wall comes in, and now that's going to be Dizzy, who's not going to get taken down just yet. Mortality Field going to save him. And now the counter ult from Stu going to give give Messiah a big advantage in this fight. Boss Baby at least is able to respond with his ultimate as well. Froggle just trying to toss down the Mortar Strike. He's going to pay with his life, so LVC going to lose another fight. That will be Messiah surging forward. May be able to take this second point here fairly soon. Some great teamwork from the side of Messiah, countering very well over towards LVC's abilities. Another Dragon Strike comes in, but Booper going to take down Phantom. So they lose their DPS there. And now LVC can move on forward. Wall comes in, tries to section off Booper, but Messiah still just trying to back up. And that's exactly what they'll get away with. So the second point not quite captured yet. That additional time not put back on the clock. See here, Lotad does switch onto the Ramatra. And the Dizzy, and it'll get hit. But look at this from Grok. He's on the other side. He takes down Phantom by himself. Hits that sleep dart and makes sure he pays. As Booper continuing to move forward, takes down JB, still alive as he takes out the Immortality Field as well and puts the wall down. So LVC able to save things for themselves. Booper has the ultimate in hand now after that fight. Rumbly, though, has the booster, and there it is. You can see also the counter coming in from Booper with his ultimate. Not going to lead to anyone falling just yet, but at least keeps them off of that damage booster. Stu gonna pop the beat drop, so now Messiah can move forward, but still A lot of healing being done. Lotad gonna fall. That shield is now gone, and LVC have to be careful here. They still have the walls from Booper, but he's not gonna be able to keep that up for very long. Immortality's still getting tossed down. Brock doing a great job of getting those antis and hitting them in a large grouping, but how much can it really do is the ultimate from JB gonna be a huge play there. Lotad just trying to stall for as long as possible. He's still here. He's still doing a lot by himself, just taking as much time off as he can. There's only 50 seconds left. Finally gets hit by the Shatter. They solo ult him just to get him out of the way. Finally, that point gonna get taken. You can see Lotad smacked for the solo ult, getting slammed down onto him. 2 minutes on the clock for Messiah to capture the home point. Can they bring it all the way through? Or will LVC hold on? Already looking around the first corner. Maybe trying to get some control onto the second as Phantom hits a fantastic shot on the Booper. And Phantom actually gets a second kill too. Both the DPSs of LVC gone. Now LVC may get stuck in a spawn trap here. Here comes the Dragon Strike as Lotad gets hit by this, just gets stunned there. And now it's all down to Booper. Messiah in a great position to capture this third point and bring it all the way home. And that very well may be what they do. 1.2 meters away. You can see Brock just trying to keep everyone alive, but for now it'll just be Lotad on the point. But for how long can he stay alive as he has the whole team on him? And that'll be captured. Just a minute on the clock though for Messiah. LVC gonna have to drag this point, drag the cart all the way across the map if they want to take this to an overtime. And this is about what you'd expect from this meeting. As we head into the attacking side for LVC, you can see in the chat there, bit of a conversation going on about all the health that's just being thrown down from the supports, and also how much health Reinhardt just has in general.
Mr. Gunbot, sir, how do you think the battle's gonna go?
Now about to get into the second round. LVC looking to make their attack just as strong, if not stronger than Messiah. We saw them have a solid start to that first half, but ultimately it would be Messiah to end things off in their favor. We're going to see the same comps from both sides. Nothing really going to change from offense to defense for either of these two teams. I mean, we saw how well Phantom managed to perform with the Hanzo, so we'll likely see him look for some more shots onto the heads of these players, but for now, looks like we'll see them back down. LVC starting to make their way forward. JB might be able to get picked off early, just barely managing to get back, but Dizzy's going to be the one that gets slept, so that shield goes down for just a second. It's enough for Booper to toss down the nade, or toss down the satchel charge and take down JB. And LVC now looking to keep these players on Messiah out of the way. That singular kill is enough damage to be done. LVC already capturing that first point. They'll have the cart ready to push on out. Phantom though, gonna answer back with a kill on the Booper. LVC looking to gain some control, map control here. Gonna have to get past this first choke point. And the sleep dart again hitting Dizzy there from Brock. Been having a great series so far with those sleep darts. And Fruggle Frog getting pushed forward. Gets stuck in a sticky situation. Rumbly Coffee will take him down with some teammates' help. You'll see Fruggle Frog all the way back at spawn. Lotad Still managing to keep LVC in a forward position though. He's gonna get hit by the Nano. Dodges the Earth Shatter from Dizzy, but it doesn't matter. The rest of his team doesn't. And that'll be 4 of the 5 players taken out for LVC. Messiah doing a great job of winning these team fights. When they find one, they manage to find a few. A lot of these fights, and that's giving them an advantage right now. The Lotad here with an Earth Shatter. Look at this, the ultimate comes out from JB, and that's going to be huge. Lotad not even going to be given a chance to do much of anything. And Lotad going to have to just come back and respawn, and look at this. LVC going to go all the way up top. They're going to look to just drop straight down onto the heads of Messiah. Stucio is up top though. He's going to see this play, and now he'll be able to call that out to his teammates. The Riptire comes out from Booper. How much is it going to get done? And it looks like it's a double kill from Booper. Going to give LVC a massive advantage. That's both the supports too. No healing can be done. LVC with a phenomenal play call, and Booper kicking things off in that fight with the double on the Riptire. LVC now able to push the cart forward. That play call comes in huge. Able to dodge pretty much every wall that's put up by any Mei. Is they can just, you can see there, like in the first couple of fights, Mei was just able to throw up the wall right at the choke point, and LVC just had to break it, and they would either get stuck on the other side and get team shot, or they would just not be able to push in for a little bit. And just going around allows them to get a lot more control as Lotad hits a huge shatter. He does get countered, but still LVC doing a lot of damage. And despite Stucio popping the beat drop, Frog gonna counter it with the Mortar Strike. And LVC winning another fight, managing to push forward too. They're gonna capture that second point and now look to gain control of the spawn for Messiah. LVC just continuing to outmaneuver the side of Messiah. The counters just not coming in as effectively as they can for the side of Messiah. As Phantom takes out the Boss Baby, so that already a very solid early pick. 3:30 on the clock though, 3:20 actually on the clock for LVC. So they still have a lot of time to work with. Grok gonna have this Nano. Very well could see it, just toss that on the Lotad and get him in there. And there it goes. Now Lotad gonna start charging forward. Looking to just take down Dizzy if he can. Messiah just had the back on away. They have to respect it. Dizzy though takes out Booper, and now Lotad gets walled off again. And that immortality field coming in huge. Rumbly Coffee doing a fantastic job of keeping his teammates alive with those immortalities. Coming in clutch. So LVC gonna have to wait for another set of respawns. Try and push this again. LVC could end this with even less time than Messiah has. Messiah already not having a ton of time. The ultimate gets thrown out from JP, but JP's gonna get knocked off either walks off the map or gets knocked off. It was a bit hard to tell there. Frog finding one. Booper takes one down with the ultimate, and also Booper tossing down the satchel to take down a second. Grok finds Phantom. So now LVC in a good spot to take things all the way. The Nano also in the hands of Lotad. He gets a block on the Shatter, and he puts down his own, I believe. And now Lotad just doing every bit of damage, gets a double and takes out the immortality field while doing it. Lotad looking to fight for his life here. He's behind the entirety of Messiah. Now JB just trying to stall. Phantom gonna have to do the same. How long can they stay alive on this point? Booper finds Phantom and JB with the trap. And now LVC gonna look to hop into the final capture, and they get to it. Just 21 more seconds than Messiah, so still very much anyone's game here. A very close one for LVC, but they managed to get things done. Lotad going huge towards the end of that round, finding double kill after double kill, and even the supports of the team doing a lot of their own work to keep the players alive. A great effort from the whole team, as LVC now heading back onto the defense. Can they hold off Messiah? And remember, now that this is an overtime, despite capture, if you capture a point, you will not get any additional time when you capture, or if you capture. The minute and 2 seconds Messiah has, the minute 23 LVC has. That is it. Once you run out of that time, it'll go to the OT bar. The second that ends, the second you hop off the point, pretty much, that thing is gone. So, not a lot to work with for either team here. Both teams are going to have to make a play. Now, heading into the round. Lotad somehow off the spawn finds a kill with that charge onto JB. And that is a massive one, considering the amount of time that's already barely even on the clock. Messiah gonna move in. What are they gonna have in them? We've seen how much the immortality fields have impacted this Messiah team in these fights. Can they make it just as impactful here? Lotad pushed forward, just trying to get something done, but he's put very weak. He's got to be careful. He managed to barely stay alive here. Booper takes out Stu. Another support falling, or a support falling. And Messiah just had to back up again. They're out of time. They're just going to have to get onto the point. A great kill from Phantom, though. Going to give Messiah some time. They're going to start working towards the capture of at least this first tick. Lotad just contesting, making sure nothing gets done. Pops the ultimate, but it's not going to do anything. The Earth Shatter not going to bring enough to it. Lotad still nanoed. Now more ultimates coming into play. Phantom gets a double, huge Dragon Strike, and that should be the capture for Messiah, and it will be. Going to be able to capture this entire point with just a minute and 2 seconds. And now, any time Messiah hops off this point, that will be the round, but this is already huge for Messiah. Getting that first capture is massive with an OT like this. Any extra bit of progress that they make is just going to make it that much harder for LVC, as they almost have the same amount of time as what Messiah did. Rupert has the Riptire. We've seen how effective his Riptires have been so far. May look to call this in, and there it goes. Can it get anything? It does. Takes out Dizzy while Dizzy is going for the Shatter. So that's a huge kill. And now Lotad gonna get hit by the Nano. That'll be 3 for Lotad, and LVC gonna stop Messiah there.
Score 3-4.
Gonna be huge for LVC. A huge take for LVC though. 50.52 meters on that push. A lot of progress made. LVC gonna have to respond with just 0.01 more meters than that. That is a tough task for this team. But we've seen the initial fights be so very impactful for these two rosters, and LVC has been winning pretty much all of them in almost every single round. So this could end up being dangerous for Messiah. If you lose that first fight, especially on the defensive side, that is almost a GG's, to be quite honest. You get one more chance after that.
Well, if I see
You're
Victorix,
already trying to
I
just
will let you know.
struggle to get back. So this is going to be huge for LVC to take if they can manage to win the first fight once again.
5, 4, 3.
And we're going to see Lotad on Ramatra. Boss Baby and Boop are going to look for the Pharmacy again. We know how effective this was in the control. Can they do what they were able to there? Phantom, though, has a bit of a better counter pick on the Hanzo. But will it be enough? We're going to stay with Booper for now. As Messiah looks to play around, and the Fruggle Frog going to fall first. Already a massive pick for Rumbly Coffee, but certainly that charge going to be a massive piece of that kill as well. LVC now onto the point, but they are down in numbers for just a little bit. Rumbly Coffee gets put really weak, but he has in the Immortality Field, and that's a huge anti. Dizzy can fall here, and he does. Lotad going to get the beat down onto him with that Ramatra punch, and now LVC looking to stack onto this point. They should be able to capture it here. And Messiah backing down, so that capture does come in. 25 seconds left. LVC don't have a super long way to go. You can even see it a little bit there on Booper's screen. One more fight win, and LVC gonna take this map and look to put themselves in the finals. But there's still some work to be done. Job is not finished. As now it's put into OT. So every kill going to be crucial here. Booper almost at the ultimate though. This ultimate could be massive if he can get into the position to use it. Nano comes in, and now here comes Booper. He's getting tossed out though. He's gonna fall. The ultimate gets nothing. Now Lotad gonna be the man in power here, but he only takes down the Immortality Field. He's still alive because of that Nano, so maybe he goes huge here. Grok finds Dizzy. Lotad takes out JP as tech, and now LVC gonna look to close out the map. The res comes in on the Fruggle Frog, and LVC are right there. They need to just take down 2 more players. They're in a position to take this. Here comes the Dragon Strike though. Can LVC stay on the point and live? They just barely can. Booper on the Tracer, manages to get back. Stu, how long can he stay alive? Not very long, as LVC somehow pull out map number 2. It gets so scary there towards the end. As we get to Lotad on the play of the game. A phenomenal end to map number 2. Lotad and Grok duoing, going huge again for LVC. As they manage to just barely steal out the hybrid on Kings Row. Now 1 map away from putting themselves in the grand finals of the East 1 Conference in the NACE Star League Varsity Plus Division. And this is a new one. Escort will be on Havana for these 2. This is a map that doesn't get I haven't seen LVC play a ton of, or at least from what I've casted. So I believe they scrim it a fair bit, but outside of that, I mean, I don't really know how much they've played it. We'll have to see if this pick becomes useful for Messiah. They are in do or die time now. They still have Appalachian Conference to look forward to, but certainly would like to get a win here too. Have a chance at 2 chips to go for, as we will look to get started in just a little bit. LVC up 2-0. Another crucial series. Can LVC go back-to-back against Messiah? Or will we see Messiah start to claw their way back and at least force a map 4 on push? Or sorry, yeah, on push. I always forget push is map 4. We'll have to find out. Also, the Escort, typically in this series, the reason why I say I'm surprised by Havana is because you'll typically see these 2 play on Circuit Royale rather than Havana or whatever the other maps are, to be quite honest. I don't know what they are. But either way,
Traveling to Havana.
we are now
Initiating match.
into the map. I believe it'll be LVC starting on the attack. It'll be Messiah starting on the attack again. We saw them start off strong last map on the control. They managed to get all 3 points. They captured the first segment they captured the first point to grab the cart out of the little garage, and then they managed to capture the next 2 segments. Can they go 3 for 3 here?
Each one a meditation.
We'll have to find out as we see Dizzy maybe pulling out the Doom Fist. Stucio gonna be playing the Moira JBS Tech with the Echo, and Rumbly Coffee on Zenyatta. Stucio also changes over, so does Rumbly Coffee, and Dizzy too. So pretty much the whole team just changed. Never mind. Although JBS Tech looking like they'll stay on the Echo this time around. No May, but I know this map doesn't have as thin of angles, so like it'll be more of a defensive play to have the May. And you'll see already Booper getting a wall towards the Messiah spawn. LVC are just camping out here, and Stucio doesn't get a chance to leave as he's already sent to the respawn screen. This is going to be a tough battle out for Messiah. As you can see, Booper just waiting to put up that... Oh, miscalls it though. So LVC have to back one up. They have to respect Messiah pushing out from their spawn just a little bit. The fight towards this gas station is going to be where everything starts. Lotad playing a very forward position, just trying to keep Messiah as far back as possible. Look at him swinging about towards the gas station. And now he's going to rotate over, finds Dizzy with that swing, but Brock and Boss Baby going to fall, so the healing out for LVC. And now Booper and Frog have to just back up as far as they can. Booper, though, not going to escape either. He gets staggered. So the cart's starting to get moved forward for Messiah. Going to get about halfway to capturing that first point as they look to round the first corner and get to that second one. Rumbly Coffee has the ultimate already. Going to look to put this damage booster down right in front of the shield here of Dizzy. Should get called in here soon. Because he hasn't pulled already. I guess because LVC did rotate around. Now it gets placed. Lotad doesn't get a chance to get much done. So now LVC have to back up once again. They don't have their shield. Phantom gets pushed up very forward, and he's going to pay, actually. Booper taking him down. Booper has his ultimate. He can toss this in here and start to get some of these players of Messiah, but very weak and frozen in position. The nano huge from Grok, and Frog, Booper, Lotad getting every single kill. Messiah not going to capture that first point quite yet. 1:50 on the clock, and they'll have to look for another push. As Lotad going to have that Earth Shatter in hand. We've seen how effective he's been with it so far. And Frog also has the Mortar Strike to work with. Looking at Messiah, they'll have that Dragon Strike. We've seen Phantom have some solid Dragon Strikes this series. Kenny can have another one here. Stucio also has the beat drop. Or if that Earth Shatter gets called in, he's still around. And look at that. JBS Tech going to get the headshot onto Booper, so now things are going to be a bit tough for LVC on the damage side of things, but Frog going to respond on the Phantom, so trade coming in. And Lotad finds JBS Tech like somehow with that Fire Strike, and now Lotad can move forward, gets the beatdown from Boss Baby. Messiah backs on up. Less than a minute left, and Messiah need to start getting some work done on this point. And the sleep gonna go hit Dizzy, go on to Dizzy. Shield goes down for a couple seconds, but ultimately not leading to disaster just yet. Here comes the Dragon Strike, and Booper just has to call in his freeze so he doesn't fall. But Frog gonna die there. JBS Tech getting some solid shots. Lotad calls in the Shatter, but I believe it gets blocked by the shield. So LVC gonna have to do this without it. And they don't have any ultimates to work with. So LVC not in a great spot right now, but somehow Lotad staying alive. Phantom hops in, only takes one with him. Here comes a counter shatter from Dizzy. He dies though. He's not gonna get anything out of it. Booper gonna pop the ultimate, and that's gonna be huge. Fruggle Frog and Booper getting some kills. Grok gonna make sure he gets another one. First point does not even get captured. And LVC now in a phenomenal spot to take this series in 3.
Switching sides.
Showing their improvement across the season.
Match.
They have been shutting down Messiah when it matters. Can LVC close it out here? Or will Messiah at least force a map 4? We will have to find out.
My prime is where I stand.
See Lotad again on the Junker Queen here.
We can do this. Strike from
As
above.
we may see the pharmacy once again for LVC.
So you're
It
going
has
with
been
gold.
deadly this
Joining
entire
Overwatch.
series.
Isn't that what you want? What I want.
There really just hasn't been an answer for it from Messiah. Well, their best counter, I think, is in Phantom. Phantom
Ooh, I live for
going to be
this.
on the Ashe this time around. Going to look to send in Bob if they can get there to contest some points, give them some extra time.
3, 2, 1.
Also, Phantom has been pretty accurate this entire for most of this series, so we'll see if that helps them take out the Pharmacy. And just like I said, yep, Phantom with a double kill. Pharmacy just murdered immediately. Boss Baby and Booper don't even get a chance to get out of spawn. But we saw a similar play from LVC on their defense, so we'll have to look. We'll have to find out how LVC plan to take this one out of their spawn. The wall comes in and Fruggle Frog gets cut off, so he's gonna have to just wait for that wall to go down, do some damage while he can. And look at this, kills coming in all the way for Messiah. Huge kills. LVC still have 3 minutes though. Lotad gonna take up the Orisa. See if this change helps things out. He managed to get out of the way of Dizzy's Earth Shatter, but he's still cut off. He has a lot of health to work with, so he's fine for now. Here comes the ultimate from, I believe, JBS Tech, but Lotad's actually going to take it out. He doesn't even give anyone a chance to do anything. Lotad just surging forward, doing everything himself if he has to. Doing so much damage, staying alive, having the healing, and LVC are out of spawn. Fantastic work from Lotad to give his team the fight there. Just sends JBS Tech's ultimate away. That free is going to do absolutely nothing, and that is going to be what gets Messiah killed. But now here comes the ultimate from Booper. This could be dangerous. And look at that, Rumbly Coffee going to get taken very low, and he's going to fall to the Boss Baby. Now the ultimate coming in from Lotad. Going to look to do as much damage as possible. Now here goes Dizzy. He's off the map. No shield left, no tank to be spoken of. As LVC are just a tiny bit away from taking this series. Phantom at least has Bob, so Bob will contest for a tiny bit. Everyone falling from Messiah though, and that will be it. LVC takes the series in a 3-0 sweep of Messiah. Fantastic work from LVC. Booper with the play of the game to close out the series. Fantastic work from LVC. They will be in the grand finals of this NACE Varsity Plus division. And LVC, again, with a great win over Messiah, they could actually see this team one more time this season, and that would be at the Appalachian Conference LAN Finals. Messiah will have to win their semifinal, and so will LVC for that to happen, but we very well could see it. That would be a 1 seed, 2 seed playing against each other. But we'll have to find out when we get all the way there, as that is almost 2 or 3 weeks away. That will do things for us tonight, though. We will see you guys back here on Saturday for LVC Valorant taking on Towson University as they look to clinch a spot in the Beltway Battles LAN hosted in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. We will catch you guys back here for that. Also, LVC Halo will be playing their final match of the semester at 10 p.m. So in just 30 minutes, you'll see LVC Halo take on University of Southern Mississippi. While the match doesn't really mean much of anything, still a fun one to have regardless. We'll see you guys, hopefully see you guys over there, twitch.tv/ThineTrueWizard. But for this stream here, we'll see you guys back here on Saturday at 8 p.m. Have a great night, everybody, and have a great weekend.